let's get into chat and also just kind of clear the air on what's going on with Twitch. So I was banned yet again on Twitch. I think this was earlier this week, a couple of days ago. I got an email, again, middle of the night, 12:36 a.m., your account is banned. And I saw it in the morning, and at first when I saw it, I thought, this is an old email. I just never clicked on it. You know, sometimes you get bombarded with so many emails, especially to my personal account with all the notifications that I have. I was like, cool. Just, I never clicked on it. I didn't really look at it really close. And then I was on Twitter, and then I saw a notification from this Twitter ban account, and it said, Techno Tim was banned from Twitter. And I was like, oh, that must be an old tweet. You know, or he just started his bot and he's just getting caught up. And it said like, it said like 7 hours ago. And I was like, that bot's wrong. I totally blew it off for so long. And then I got a message from PC Geek and I was like, okay, maybe I really am. So I go and I look at the email and I really am. And so once again, it's just this cryptic, hey, we've had suspicious activity or bot-like activity on your account. I'm sorry, we're going to disable your account. File an appeal here. And I was like, are you kidding me? So anyways, I was pretty frustrated, and I get it. Like, if it's my fault, I would love to help make it better, but there's no feedback loop at all. There's zero feedback loop. And I would love to say, I would love them to say, yes, it was your bot. Your bot did this and this and this, in the middle of the night. Hey, could you fix that? Like, developer to developer. Like, it doesn't have to be anybody that enforces it. Just have a developer reach out to me and say, hey, here's what's going on. You don't have to give away the secret sauce. Just, I built an app that's, that Twitch has approved. It uses the Twitch API. I have API keys and API tokens, but they banned me on a personal level because the bot is me too. And, that might be my mistake. Maybe I need to switch it up and say, okay, my bot is this account. And then me, the person, is not that account, but I'm doing stuff as myself on Twitch, if that makes sense, right? I'm using my Techno Tim account to do automatic things like what's going on in here. It's the only way I could have lights flash. It's the only way I could, say thank you for whatever, for anything. That's the only way you could redeem points is if I have a bot that can coordinate that stuff. And so it might be my fault and, bad design on my part. I shouldn't do it as myself. But at the same time, even if I didn't get banned and my bot got banned, then all of this stuff wouldn't work. So I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, I would love to figure out what's going on in that. And again, I know it's probably my code, but I would just love for them to tell me, here's what's going on. Take the process and take all of the enforcement out and policies out, against me. But then let me go through Twitch developer, my developer.twitch.com account, and talk to them and maybe file a support. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just go through developer.twitch.com, file a support issue if I even can, and kind of explain what's going on. And maybe they'll give me some insight that way. So anyways, I know it's my fault. I would like to know. I write terrible code. I'm not gonna lie. I've written a lot of bad code. I've brought stuff down in production before. I've done a lot of bad stuff, as we all have when writing code. And I'm sure this is no different. The weird thing is, my code hasn't changed in, the logic itself, years. The logic has not changed. All right. I'll go back a little bit. My API contract with Twitch hasn't changed in years. Let's put it that way. Me working with their API, none of that has changed. The only thing I have changed in the last years, plural, is, my automation now with Home Assistant, but that's all abstracted from them. There's nothing that, nothing that does anything on their side or that I could trigger on their side for that change. I subscribe to events. When I get an event, I do something in Home Assistant. It used to not be Home Assistant. It used to go against my own API, But then I thought, hey, Home Assistant is building an awesome API. I'm not going to write this code anymore. So anyway, so that's that. And, you know, it's a little bit frustrating. Like, you know, I've been on Twitch in a long time, not a big streamer at all, but I have fun here, you know? And so, you know, I've been thinking like, you know, maybe it's time to give YouTube Live a shot. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm making a threat or anything like that. I'm really thinking it. Like, if this didn't happen these last 2 times, I wouldn't even have considered it. But the more I think about it, I'm like, why don't I give it a shot for like, I don't know, a month and see how it goes, you know? Nothing. I don't have contracts with anyone, and I could do whatever I want. I could go stream anywhere I wanted to right now. And I know a lot of people are going to say stream on both, and I totally get that argument. I get that argument if you're brand new or very big, right? Because those are the 2 different concerns, right? Brand new, you want to figure out where you want to stream. So you stream everywhere, you figure out where you get the most engagement, and then you focus on that, right? That's testing the waters. Then you're so big, you're not even going to address stuff in the stream anyways, you know? You're Linus or whoever, you're just going to stream everywhere. You have no contracts, no whatever, and people are going to watch you talk, and, you know, and then they might not say anything anyways, but you're going to get audiences everywhere. But there's not a lot of interaction, you know, with their streams. So... And then there's me, who there is a lot of interaction, and then Twitch has all these dumb guidelines. I'm going to say they're dumb. That basically say, hey, you can multi-stream, but you cannot show other community chat on your screen. You know, and that kind of messes up, you know, things like this, you know? And so they basically say, yeah, you can stream anywhere, just don't combine chat, don't show it on your screen, and we're fine. So that would mean I'd have to, like, read YouTube comments over here, explain it to Twitch people, or vice versa. Actually, it would have to be that way because Twitch has this policy. And I get their policies. Like, you know, I get their policies. I get it. If I was running Twitch, I you know, multi-streaming would be a tough pill for me to swallow, you know. But the way that they've enforced it now is basically you're advertising that you're on Twitch on other streams. That's how it works, right? And that's not what I want to do. I don't want people to see that red light on YouTube and say, hey, Techno Tim's live. They go in that stream and I ignore those people. And then that happens again. And then that happens again. And then what happens on week 4? They'll see that red light. They'll be like, oh yeah, he's on Twitch. He doesn't respond to these. I'm not going to go to that stream. So that's really ultimately why I don't do it. If I didn't have an interactive stream at all, I'd do it, 100% do it. But this is 100% interactive, and that's why, you know, I haven't multi-streamed anywhere. Good for huge people, great for just getting started people, in the middle people who, you know, have communities kind of in both places, and have an interactive stream, not great with the current policies. So anyways, that's a lot of insider baseball about where I stream and why. And so I don't know. I am gonna. I will say this. As soon as I'm gonna write some code, right? And what is the code that I'm writing? Well, I want my lights to kind of work on YouTube too, right? If someone super chats or someone, I got to figure out new terminology and stuff like that too. Like if there are super chats and stuff like that, I want the lights to flash, right? And so that's code I have to write. I looked at YouTube's API last week, and seems like they can support it. So I have to write yet some more code to hook in to YouTube events and then do the same thing in here, which should be pretty easy. I mean, I could probably get it done, you know, if I focused on it, I don't know, 5-6 hours. And that's me not even looking at the documentation yet. So I just need that 5 or 6 hours, like, while I'm awake to do it. If I could stay up later, I would do it. And the thing with that is I need like a dedicated 5 or 6 hours. If it's broken up, that, yeah, good luck. So anyway, so I'm going to write that code. I'm going to get it working on YouTube Live, and I'll do YouTube Live maybe for, I don't know, a couple weeks, month. I don't know. I'm going to try it out. But that doesn't mean might not do it on here too. So, yeah, I could write that code on stream. I could. You guys wouldn't want to see that. You wouldn't want to see it. I mean, maybe you would, but I don't mean like seeing me coding. That might be kind of interesting and interactive, but my code itself, you'd be like, really? This guy has a job? Anyways, I'll get off that. I thought I should address it. And for those that don't know, you're probably like, what the heck? I'm never coming back to this stream again. This is this is crazy. But no, I kind of, you know, blasted out a tweet just basically saying I'm done and just voicing my frustration. And I want to say thanks, though. I think it was meh in Discord. Now I'm going to say it, but I think he works for Twitch and he was in our Discord, and super lucky that he's there and he works for Twitch and he got it addressed like immediately. But then I also kind of feel bad for I greatly appreciate that's what happened, but I also like, you know, part of me doesn't like the, you know, it's not fair treatment, right? There's streamers out there who, you know, I don't know, just got started or did something wrong, or, you know, they really depend on this for their livelihood. And, you know, and meanwhile, you know, because I knew someone, it happened quicker. And I didn't ask for it at all. I didn't ask for it at all. And, you know, usually I like to let the process like ride out. Like I always say that to anyone who knows who I am, and I don't mean just like me, Techno Tim, socially. I'm just saying like internal at work and stuff like that. You know, if I check up on something and they're like, oh yeah, we'll do it right now. I'm just like, no, just checking up. Do what you're doing. I just want to let it ride out. You know, if the process is bad, we'll just make it better. You know what I mean? And so that's always my approach. Don't want any special treatment. Want to be informed on what's going on. And then, you know, after we go through the process, if it's bad, like, hey, let's make it better. And so that's how I've always been, whether it's Twitch or work or anything, even feedback forms on applications or things that I do, you know, on the web when they give me feedback forms, even repairs. Yeah, I fill that stuff out. So because I want them to be better, and it's never really just a slam. It's, you know, just kind of honest feedback. And if they wanna treat, you know, if they wanna use me as a guinea pig the next time, hey, I'm all for it. So I always signed up for that stuff in my corporate life. Was just like, yeah, I'll do beta. Like let's figure this out and make it great for your customers, you know, quote unquote. So, anyways, let's stop talking about that stuff. Let's talk about chat and what you're doing and what's going on. I just said a lot of that in one breath. I'm gonna take a quick drink. I love this stuff. This right here is it's like this super cheap Target brand blue raspberry energy drink, 0 calories, 0 sugar, and it has like tons of vitamins and it's a decent amount of caffeine. And it's like I probably have one once a day or once every other day, you know, and it's big, you know, it's in a huge 32 ounce Nalgene. I think that's 32, maybe it's 24, I don't know. And when I drink it, like I can just feel my face getting warm, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty strong, like 1,000% vitamin B and some caffeine. I'm like, woo. Anyways, let's get into chat. Let's see what you're working on, and I will stop blabbing. If you have something you want to share, you just tuned in. If you have something you want to share related to tech, what you're working on, or what you want to work on, or what you want to talk about, throw it in chat. We'll talk about it. And if you need some inspiration, here it comes. So, Owen, hey, how's it going? Owen loves rice. How's it going, man? I love rice too. Sorry, I have to say that every time I read your name, because I also love rice. My wife is always just like, rice again? She's to the point now where she's like, so what are we having with rice? So anyways, how's it going? Jared, hi, chat. How's it going? What, back? Yeah, I am back. Hi, everyone. Back on Twitch. Yeah, I am. For, you know, I don't even want to say for now. I'm gonna explore the space, and I just want to make sure that if I ever need to pivot to YouTube, it's all there, it's all set up. Last time I was able to kind of rig it together, but I didn't have chat, I didn't have my lights, I didn't have, you know, the comforts of what I have here. So, you know, that's on me over the next week or two, is just write that code, make sure chat works, like test all of that out. So if I need to pivot again, I can, and then, you know, maybe do a little trial run. Let's see. Yeah, back on Twitch. I know I'm getting so much shade. Not shade, but you know, you guys are razzing me, and which is totally fine, because I was like, I'm done. But it's more frustrated than anything. Just Kaiser so say, hey, how's it going? Hello from Houston. Hey, hello from Minneapolis. Man, you guys got some snow down there. I think you got some snow and some ice, and Man, it is crazy down there. It is crazy down south right now. It's like, man, you guys are taking up all this snow, man. Hope you're okay. You know, I totally get it that like that, you know, the whole area, the whole South isn't equipped to handle any snow at all. And so things shut down real quick, as they should, because you don't want people who have never driven on the ice before now driving on the ice, you know. And so it's pretty wild to see, you know, half-inch of snow, city is shut down. And it's like, man, I think we got a half-inch in the last like 5 minutes. But yeah, it's wild up here with snow and cold, you know, and then down there, I mean, it's snowing down there, which is wild to think about. So, you know, it's got to be below 32. And up here, you know, it's negative 20. And we're just kind of like, yeah, it's not great out, but if I got to go outside, I'll go outside. You know, and then the next day it's 50 degrees warmer and it's only 30. You know, it's kind of wild up here too. So anyways, hey, Defender Baseman, hey, thanks for the prime sub. Appreciate it. But yeah, stay safe if you're anywhere. Pretty much stay safe. Weather and everything is wild, so no matter where you are, stay safe because it is wild. It's been wild in the US too. Whether you're northeast, north, Midwest and north have been pretty okay. Lower Midwest, the real Midwest, we're kind of like the north, but anyways, the rest of the Midwest got slammed with, you know, a storm last week, and down south got slammed with a storm. You know, out west, it's either on fire or dry or getting rain and mudslides. So it's wild. It's wild. I'm sure it's wild everywhere else too. So anyways, let's see. A bit of a surprise. I know. See, I know. I know. I did surprise everyone by coming back here, but it was easy and it's comfortable, you know, and I don't always want to be easy and comfortable. And so, I mean, you know, pragmatically, this was the easiest way to get this stream going was like, you know, fix all my tokens, fix all my chat, hit record. I knew like my automation was going to work. And again, I don't have that yet on YouTube. So I want to get it going. Hi, Tim. Munzie. Hey, I set up my own personal DERP this weekend for Tailscale. Now it's time to see how well it works. Yeah, DERP. It's funny because I was like, what is DERP? And I forget the term, but it's an acronym. Basically, the manager for your connections, you know, for Tailscale or for your Tailnet, right? And so Tailscale has one that they host for you that manages the connections. I think it's called the DERP, and so you're hosting one yourself. That is pretty awesome. I'd love to see that in action too. And then like, I know that you can do it, but then don't you have to like reconfigure all of the clients then to know they're not going to go to Tailscale, you know, .com or .net, I forget what it is, for the DERP. So I know that people have done it and they've self-hosted, you know, that piece of it, but then I think they have to like, I don't know if they recompile the app or reconfigure. On the app, it's probably just you know, a config file, right? But you know, on a mobile device, it might be recompiling the app. I don't know, but it sounds awesome. Yeah, I'd love to, like, I love Tailscale, but at the end of the day, I would love to, you know, host my own Tailnet, like 100% end-to-end hosted. Just because then I don't have to worry about anything happening from anyone, you know. And it's not like I have things to hide. I just don't want, you know, a backdoor into my network being a backdoor into my network by someone else. So it's pretty cool. I did use Tailscale for a while. I used Tailscale not even when I was away. I used Tailscale when I had my mini rack. I have another mini rack up there. It's getting built in the background. I'm doing another mini rack kind of thing because Gearling got me going again on it, and I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this again. And I already did one, but I was like, yeah, okay, I got some more ideas. Anyways, that was on. I had that double natted because, you know, it had a firewall on there. And then I just installed Tailscale on my PiKVM, which was on that network that's double natted, so I could get to that network. So I was using just Tailscale from this machine to that machine because I had a double NAT going on. So it's pretty awesome. So anyways, yeah, Tailscale is so awesome. I just I don't use it probably as much as I should. Maybe I should be using it more. But you know, with having network firewalls and stuff and building site to sites, it works out pretty good. But then once you start to get into CG NAT, double NAT, that kind of stuff, there's like no way around it, you know. But sounds fun. Or, well, I guess SD-WAN can kind of get around it, but you need a third party to then manage your connections too, just like the DERP server. So, PC Geek, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Woody, I'm curious how you're going to make sure you don't get kicked out again. I don't. Actually, there is a way. And so, you know, when I got kicked out, I got banned. When I got banned again, I realized that after talking to men, my Discord, that you can apply to have your tokens or your API tokens extended, not extended, but just there's a way you can let them know that, hey, you're an official bot and you want a rate limit increase. But I mean, I don't need a rate limit increase. If I need a rate limit increase, that means my bot's doing something wrong. And so, you know, me looking at the code and the logs, totally fine. Like, you know, I request refresh token once an hour. I mean, I technically don't even need to request that. I react to 403s exactly how you should, but I also do it just in case. And that's it. That's it, you know, and especially my bot that's in my channel. He's like doing nothing all night long. So he's like on vacation. So I even wrote some more code to just say, like, absolutely my bot should do nothing, not even reply if I'm not online. Because before it would only flash the lights if I'm online, and that's because you guys were trolling me when I was on YouTube with Tom Lawrence, and you guys were changing my lights. But now my bot, hopefully I deployed that, won't interact with anyone, not even the banana command while I'm gone. So I got to check that out. Hopefully I deployed it. I was kind of hesitant to deploy stuff out when Twitch banned me because I didn't want to change anything, but I did have to disable some things too. I'm Upa. Hey, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you too. PC Geek, how's it going? Look at, oh yeah, he's rocking out. I am Upa. When are you releasing the video of your services or software you're running in your Homelab? I'm working on it right now. Actually, I stopped working on it so I could stream. So it's next. It's on deck. I kind of had to break it up. You know, I did the hardware tour. Then I did, in between, I did the PiKVM switch because I wanted to do a little bit of hardware. And I had my workbench torn up for so long. I was like, I got to get this video out. I can't have my workbench like that. I've actually torn everything out. Like, that's empty back there besides the desk because I'm redoing some stuff in here. So, and now I'm editing that video. Actually, I released a short today because shorts, you got to do them every now and then. And they're fun to do. You know, I can turn them around in 2 hours. You know, it's fun. It's something about making a short, just recording, editing real quick, you know, and just putting it out there. It's awesome. And I think that's why a lot of creators are creating a lot of shorts lately, because they're like, man, I need to get some content out. And shorts are just so awesome because, like, you know, anytime you have a moment of inspiration, you just start recording. So anyways, it will be out maybe this week. It should be out this week. But those are, I mean, this video is going to be long. I mean, I went in depth on everything I'm using, my network, why I have it the way I have it, what I wish I was using instead. What I might use in the future, because I'm trying to answer more questions that I see pop up all the time from my last year's. It's funny, last year's I think has 500,000 views. It's like, whoa. I was like, never thought that was going to be that popular. Actually, turns out the software piece is more popular than the hardware piece. And it goes against everything that I think about YouTube and how it works. And I get it now if I think about it. Because, like, I'll say this, like, most people get excited about hardware. It's just how it is on YouTube. Software, not so much, unless they've never heard it before. Then they'll click on it. Oh, that's what it is. And then they'll leave. And that's totally fine. Like, I'm not shaming anyone for doing any of that. That's how I operate too. You know, give me what I need to know. I don't know about that. Cool. Now I do know about that. If I ever need it, I'll come back. And which is totally fine. That's how I operate too. But for videos, that kind of stinks for performance. And so, you know, people will click on hardware a lot faster than they'll click on software stuff. At least you know, Homelab audience, I should say. If you're a software channel, no, that's not true. But with my services tour, I have way more views on that, and I think it just says, well, you know, software is kind of universal, as far as Homelab is concerned, outside of, CPU architecture, no one's Homelabbing with ARM except for Geerling. I'm teasing him. Not really. And so software is kind of universal, whereas if I show you my hardware, you're like, yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, I already have that. Yeah, I don't need that. You know what I mean? And where software and you see services that you can self-host, you're like, okay, well, yeah, maybe I can run that. Yes. Guess, long story short, it's coming soon. And I think people get more inspiration out of the software side. So I'm glad I separated them, and it's coming. It's coming next. Dude, Randoneering, how you doing, man? Resub, 22 months, man. Almost 2 years. How you doing? Just doing taxes. Man, you're early. You are an early bird on taxes. I just got my Google I don't know, 10, I don't know. Oh man, I forgot what the number is. I can't believe I'm even blanking. 1099. Thank you. 1099. That's right. Not my W2 or W9. 1099K. That is right. You even got the letter right. Basically the contractor stub. And I saw it, and I'm like, sweet, I'll look at this in about April. Like every year, for some reason, I wait until the last weekend before. That's just my thing. It's like I know the weekend before taxes are due, I'm gonna do them, and it's not like I keep pushing them out. I mean, that's how I've done them every year that I can ever remember, and I've been doing them myself too. So. It's getting a little more complicated too, doing them myself, selling merch this year. That's like, it's kind of boggling my mind, but me and ChatGPT will figure it out. And then the IRS will be showing up. So anyways, hope you get your taxes done. For me, that's a, second week of April type thing. Like, it always is. It always is. Pile of papers all around me, scanning documents, and watching that number on TurboTax go up to negative 20,000, whatever, because I don't pay taxes. Well, I do, but not like normal people do. I have to pay them quarterly, and so first thing is inputting your income, and then you're like, whoa, and then slowly it chips away at it. So, anyways, hope you get them done. Let's see. PC Geek back home a few days away and got my Dell rack workstation set up. Finally found a use for a 2-slot ARC 380. Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a perfect use case. So you bought the Dell rack-mounted workstation. I think it has a 8th gen in it, and I remember that because I have an 8th gen over there. And now you're going to use the Intel ARC A380. That is awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a great use case for it. Yeah, that's awesome. If you put Windows on it and it's a workstation, not a server, then it's like, okay, you get RDP. I mean, you could use Parsec, but RDP is so good for remote control. Like, no one has made anything better than RDP. I mean, for productivity, for remote control, like RDP is so rock solid. Like, it's basically like you're sitting in front of the machine, and it's every now and then you'll get some painting, and it's not great. It's not great for media, right? But for everything else, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Like I could totally set up a remote Windows machine in my Homelab and just, have that be my development machine. And that's where I always go to develop, just RDP into it, write code, leave, and the good thing is it'll always be up every time I get to it. So RDP is still great. So anyways, yeah, glad you're getting that set up and getting it going. Sounds awesome. Sounds fun. Let's see, CBP pilot. I'm currently working on getting Snipe IT deployed in Docker on my office's server. Awesome. Yeah, I need to use this too. I need some inventory management in my life, and I'm not joking. So that we can do asset tracking and management now that we have brought our internal IT, our IT internal from an MSP. Sorry. Eyes are not working with me today. Because of my Homelab experience, I've been named system administrator. That is awesome. So you're installing Snipe IT, using the Docker container. All right. Now we can be friends. Not kidding. And then on top of that, since you're parting ways with your MSP, you guys are self-hosting it. And then you've been appointed system administrator because you're Homeland. That is awesome. What a great story, man. There's so many like threads in there. Like, hey, Nothing to get MSPs, but man, bringing your IT back internal, pretty cool. You know, self-hosting this stuff, pretty cool. Now you're a system administrator because you have a Homelab, pretty awesome. So man, there's a lot of good threads in there. So man, congratulations. Owen, last week or two, I've been working on contributing to Simple Icons. All right. And learning a lot about GitHub as I go. That is awesome. So yeah, Simple Icons is an icon library. Many of them SVGs, I think a lot of them. I think they have PNGs there too. And you're contributing to them. That is awesome. And learning a lot about GitHub. So you must be on the design side, maybe. I'm trying to think, like, because, well, yeah, anyways. And I think you were doing Docker builds, I think, last week. Container builds with actions, if I remember correctly. But that is awesome. Contributing to Simple Icons, that is awesome. I love icons. I have for a long time. I spend too much time looking at icons. My favorite right now for UI stuff is, I can't remember the name. It's a React package, Phosphor. So there's an icon package called Phosphor, and it's kind of flat, but not totally flat like Material UI stuff, but kind of flat, but it has shading too. And they have great outlines. So I think it's React Phosphor. But they have the package without it. But that's my favorite right now is Phosphor icons. I think that's what it is. I love them. I love them so much. I'm like wanting to build a UI just to use those again. So awesome. Congratulations. Cybernight stuff I'm working on. Decided to stick with my 5 Dell R620s instead of replacing them with mini PCs. Yeah, that's what you were talking about last week. Just added mini PC to the rack. Need more power. Looking for an electrician. At first I thought you meant compute power, but you need literally more power. That is awesome. Yeah, electricians and stuff like that. I respect them so much. They know so much. Every time I have an electrician come over, I'm like, can I watch? I was just joking with my wife last night because every time someone comes here, and I know that whole like progressive commercial about like, don't watch the people who come over, you're turning into your parents thing. Like I love watching people. Like I loved watching the guy clean out our sewer drain. And he like let me look at the camera and everything. I was like a little kid there, just like staring at the camera, watching them clean out our sewer. And I love doing it. And it's never because like I want to make sure they're doing the right thing. And I'm just like so amazed. It's usually things I don't know how to do. I want to know what's going on inside of there, and I just like want to learn. And also just shoot the breeze with the person. So every time someone comes over, I'm like, do you care if I watch? And they're like, usually like, no. I'm like, it's nothing weird. I just love knowing like what's behind this wall or how you fix particular problems. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So that, anyways, going back to that, like electricians, I wish I knew, what like electricians know. So be a lot better, and I'd have to pay out a lot less. But yeah, it's a great skill to know. And it's always good looking for an electrician. Yeah. And the thing about most of the trade jobs is it's word of mouth, and a lot of them are personal recommendations too. So it's awesome. Like once you get, a good plumber or a good electrician or whatever the trade may be, don't let them go, don't let them go. And then it's hard to get their time too, because, there's too much work for them to do. It's too much work. It's like they have so much advertisement, at least here in the US and Midwest for sure. No matter what the economy is, it seems like they have too much work. And so they just don't even need to market or anything. And they just have too much work. And it's awesome. It's awesome, and especially if they like work for a company and do stuff on the side. Most of them are like, I don't even do stuff on the side anymore. So, it's pretty cool. So anyways, interesting. You decided not to go with mini PCs, back to your R620s, and but then you did add a mini PC to the rack. So that's awesome. That is awesome. So you're gonna mix them up. Mix them up. Yakto, hey, speaking of YWS CEO, added native Docker support. You speak my language. Added native Docker support to YWS. Now adding the blades from the HPE Moonshot as dedicated container hosts. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. So you have the HP Moonshot. And I keep forgetting what it is, but it's a big blade server where you put in, you know, big back plane and you put in your blades. And you're using some of those blades, or maybe all of the blades, for Docker hosts. That is awesome. So like, yeah, that is a lot of compute. Is it like shared environment, or is this all your stuff? Yeah, I think it might be shared. I'm always curious, like, because I think that's, I mean, a lot of, shouldn't say clouds aren't doing it, but clouds do focus on just containerizing one thing, right? And so, you know, like App Engine, I think it's App Engine for GCP. I think, you know, both AWS and Azure have something similar where it's basically like, hey, give us your container, we'll host it for you. And I think that like that's pretty awesome. And there were some places doing it for like $5 a container. You know, you're gonna get, you know, quarter CPU and whatever, but enough to run a container mostly. And so I wonder if you're doing that at scale and just like letting people just run their containers on there. So anyway, sounds awesome. I wish there was, you know, just an easy host. Maybe this is YWS, an easy host where I'm just like, hey, I just want to run one container here. Give me a web GUI and let me run it. Let me run it, you know, and maybe, you know, I'll give you access to my registry where this thing lives, or I'll give you my Docker file where you can build it yourself and put it somewhere. So I think that's awesome. Cause you know, for some things I don't need full on Kubernetes. I just need a stable engine, you know, containerd engine to run my container, you know, and then give me a public IP. I'll take care of the rest. So, or a load balancer, I guess I should say. But awesome. That sounds awesome. I want to know more about this now. Upa, hey, how's it going? Got a free 48-port Dell managed switch from work. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, that is awesome when you get kickbacks from works, or hand-me-downs, I should say, because most of the time, like, work hand-me-downs are really good. It depends on what it is and, you know, how long they hold on to it and whether or not they have a support contract with the thing. If they do have support contracts, they, you know, I mean, it all depends on the company, but they, you know, they're just going to rotate it in and out, you know, when it's end of life or deemed end of life, which, you know, it has a lot of life left usually, especially for home. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I've never seen Dell's management interface for switch for anything like that. You know, I've seen Cisco, and I've done Cisco CLI stuff. Obviously, I've seen Ubiquitys, I've seen MikroTiks, but not Dell's, not even HP's. To be honest, I haven't seen HP's interface for managing switches. I should probably look one day. So, but that's awesome. Congratulations on your switch. That is a lot of ports too. Yeah. 48 port gang. I'm there. I'm there. Budney, hey, how's it going? I set up Tailscale a few days ago. It was great to stream my music from Jellyfin server to Finamp on my iPhone while on the go. That is awesome. Yeah, perfect use case, right? Perfect use case. You have your Jellyfin server. You don't want to expose it publicly. You want it private. And so you build out a mesh network of all your trusted clients to then connect back to, you know, your servers. You basically, you know, point-to-point network. Yeah, point-to-point. Network out of endpoints that never go out to the public web. It is awesome. Well, they don't connect. They connect through it, but they don't. I don't know. They have a secure tunnel, but they go point to point. Anyways, that is awesome. I love that they call it Finamp too. I love how people are holding on to that. Winamp, Finamp. There's a few other names. Plexamp, I think they have one too. But that is awesome. I need to look at Finamp and see how that app is. So, but that is cool. Yeah, there's so many cool things you can do with Tail now. Exit nodes too. I heard you can use like an Apple TV as your exit node. So it's like if you have an Apple TV, you know, it's usually plugged in all the time at your home. And if you just wanted to like have all of your devices on your Tailnet, you could install Tailscale on your Apple TV and just, there we go. There's all my devices. I just added this whole subnet, and that's pretty awesome to think that Tailscale was like, yeah, how about we install it on Apple TV? Like what? Like I never would have thought like, you know, a networking application like that would be on there. And it's such a like great use case for it. The thing's always plugged in, you know, and might be sleeping or in low power mode using like 1 watt or whatever. and it's highly capable to do all of that stuff. And it's pretty awesome that someone was like, yes, we're going to install an Apple TV, and that's going to be your exit node. It's like, oh, someone was thinking there. Or someone had an Apple TV, and they're like, wouldn't that be cool? You know, and then they just did it, and they're like, yeah, we should probably do this. I just read that. I apologize. Romeo Jr. I'm playing around with Deepseek R1 8B. Nice reasoning thinking model on my OUI. I don't know what OUI is. Own UI. I'm going to say Own UI. It's probably very similar to like a lot of the UIs that are out there that connect to Llama, I assume. Llama Web UI? Oh, Open Web UI. Thank you. I was like, I totally know Open Web UI, and I was thinking, is there something else out there that I don't know about? Thank you. Awesome. So you're running this Deepseek 8B. It's a reasoning thinking model, and it's running on Open Web UI with Llama obviously in the background. It runs well on an RTX 3050 6 gigs, and you're getting around 19 tokens per second, or trillion operations per second tops. That is awesome. That is awesome. So the 8B must be, I don't know, 4 gigs roughly. I think I'm just guessing 4 or 5 gigs. So yeah, it fits right in there. And it's fast enough, and 19 tops is plenty fast for one person, and for a chatbot, that is awesome. That is awesome. I need to check it out. I haven't looked at Deepseek. I've only used a handful that are hosted on Hugging Face, and only a handful. You know, a couple of for coding, and you know, and then for chatbots. And I still have my 3090. I'm going to be switching that up here in a little bit, dude. Alex, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Alex, happy Saturday. Hope everyone's doing amazing. Glad to see Twitch keeps unbanning Tim. Yeah. I wonder if I'm like 3 strikes and you're out. But no, I think if I got banned again, hopefully they would let me back. Because when I get unbanned each time, I've been through this a few times before, they basically say, hey, this doesn't count against you at all. You know, everything is normal. Just go set up all your stuff all over again. Pretty much. But yeah, I'm back. And yeah, I'm back for now. I don't want to say for now, but I do need to pave my path all the way to YouTube Live, so that if something like that happens again, easy pivot. I have lights, super chats, like it's all working. Chat on the screen. Like I can't do this whole like, well, I'll figure it out like as I go live. No more of that. So anyways, thank you so much, Romeo. That is awesome. Glad you're getting Deepseek going. Demang says Deepseek R1 is up there with OpenAI 01. Oh, really? With 01? All right. Yeah, because 01 is pretty awesome on ChatGPT, on OpenAI, I should say, which it's using right now. Let's see. Yeah, it is awesome, the reasoning one. Let's see. I'll have to check it out though. Pwn. I think this is it. Hopefully, set up my Switch. I need to learn to read. Hopefully my Switch shows up this weekend and I can play with the SFP ports for the first time. That is awesome. That is awesome. So you got a Switch coming. I need to learn how to speak. And it has SFP ports, and you've never used them before. Hey, that was me like 2 years ago. Like I had no idea. Like I saw them. I always saw them on Switches. I'm like, one day I'm gonna figure out what those do. Yeah, I seriously did. Like I had no idea. Like until I had to use them. So I was in your same spot. I had no idea. I was calling them GBICs because that's what, you know, when I did networking 15, 20 years ago, that's what people called them. So I'm like, what GBICs do I put in here, you know? Because gigabit interface controller or something? I don't know. But everyone way back used to call them GBICs, or at least where I worked. And I was like, oh man, I have no idea like what kind of GBIC goes in here, you know? And I was like, why are there different fiber modules? And oh, I can only do gigabit, or I can do 10 gigabit on some. Like, can I get the 10 gig ones, and will they still run at 1? So one day I can go faster. Yeah, it's a wild world, but it's fun once you figure it out. It's just like, oh, you know, you're just like converting, you know, copper to whatever you want, maybe back to copper, or maybe using DAC, and it never changes from copper. So it's fun. It's fun for sure, and glad you get to experience this. It's pretty awesome. I mean, yeah. I use mine mostly for uplinks now. There was a time when I didn't use them all for uplinks because I didn't have anything to uplink to, and I was like, sweet, I just got an extra 10 gig port. At least in my UDM when I first had it. And I'm like, yeah, I got 2 10 gigs. Well, they had to switch the firmware to allow you to do that first because one was dedicated to WAN. But anyways, happy for you. I hope it shows up soon, and I hope you get to play with it for sure. Mob Farmer, I think there are flashing in the stream. More flashing in the stream outside of the 4th of July. Yeah, it does. It does flash a lot. It does flash a lot in here. I was saying earlier, I moved this LED panel over there, and then the same one is back there, so it covers the whole room now. You know, I always had 2 back there, and this wall right here would block the light, so that would flash like insane, and then this was just kind of, you know, static for the most part, but not anymore. Not anymore. How is it all blue in here too? Oh, I think I know. I'm like, I don't have a blue theme. I think I know. I think it's dark mode, but those things didn't turn off. They're in a weird position, and they're infrared, and I have the infrared thing like positioned. Oh, there we go. I have the infrared thing. They should turn orangish now. There they go, or pink. Yeah, dark mode. I don't know why that doesn't work. Anyways, I need to find. So I am redoing this room. I've already started. It's empty back there. I'm gonna simplify stuff. I keep going from this like make it crazy, simplify, make it crazy, simplify, and I realize that like I need to make content quicker, and the way to do that is by simplifying stuff and having more, you know, desktops. One here, obviously, one back there that I have, and now I'm gonna have another one there, and different angles and stuff like that too. So yeah, that's what's going on, dude. Oh hi, it's Brad, dude. Thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's wild in here now. So. Anyways, I'm moving to a spot in this room where I can permanently put stuff instead of always having to set stuff up and move stuff around and redo everything. I think when I tested, you know, 8 devices here with the PiKVM switch, that really opened my eyes to say like, look, you know, if I have something sitting on a tabletop for a week, it shouldn't like delay all of my other content to where I can't work on stuff, and that's what it was doing. So I'm might get another. I have a big shelf here. I might do something here, but anyways, I'm gonna put stuff at permanent stations where things go, and just gonna simplify a whole bunch of stuff. And I got some new lights coming and stuff, so I got to test that out. I think yeah, Alex helped me out and recommended some lights for me because I had so many light questions. And I have until February 1st on Amazon's return policy because, you know, if you buy during the holiday, it's February 1st. Haven't even opened them yet, and that's so unlike me to do that. But I just can't. I can't get distracted. So, anyways, yeah, a lot of flashing going on in here, and that's gonna stay. That's gonna stay around. Found a Dell X1026 for $35. I think this is your Switch. I think it is. But pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Thank you. I'm redoing my networking at home, currently running double natting. So I'm installing OpenSense and converting my Soho routers into APs. That is awesome. So you're currently running double natting. Yeah. And then you're installing OpenSense and converting your small office, home office routers into APs. That is awesome. That is pretty fun. Redoing network is fun. Well, I should say this. It's fun to think about. It's fun to kind of do. But then, like, after you do it, like, it's like the gift that keeps on giving. You're like, oh, that port forward rule, I didn't do that. Oh, that firewall rule, I didn't do that. Oh, you know. So, hopefully you're better than me and have a good documentation going in of all of your stuff. When I switched from XG Firewall a long time ago, Sophos, over to OpenSense, I just screenshotted the whole thing and just, like, you know, Control, Delete, wipe the whole thing. And realized that my screenshots weren't the best on explaining what all of my port forward rules were. So do that. Like if you are going to redo, you know, DNS and or DHCP and or firewall rules, just make sure, you know, you dump those somewhere to text. And if you can't, even if you copy and paste the HTML you know, and put it somewhere, that'll be super helpful. Because also what I learned when I did screenshots, I couldn't copy and paste any of those MAC addresses out of there and paste them into the new system. Wow, I probably, you know, I probably could have ran it through something and done OCR, but we're talking 4 or 5 years ago, which it was probably still possible. Not as easy as it is now. So yeah, do all of those things before you take your network down. I know it's exciting to make changes, but you know, what are they saying? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So if you document all of that stuff ahead of time, write it down, even take a picture with your phone. It's way better because you can copy and paste now stuff out of phones easily. It'll be awesome, and it'll go way better, and it won't give as many gifts over time, for sure. Kaikon, Psycon. I'm going. That's a tough one. Kaikon. That's what I'm going. Hey Tim, I'm trying to get into Flux. All right, but I'm failing to get any decent traction. Helm file worked, but had so many edges that needed to be addressed. Do you have any hints or pointers for me? Funny you say this because the last, I think it was Thursday, I spent a good 4 or 5 hours debugging Flux for a long time. And I mean more than I've ever debugged Flux. So I had a problem. Oh, dude, thank you. Bates Boy, hey, thank you so much. Resub, Prime, 2 months. Dude, thank you so much. Thanks. Seizure warning. Let me grab a drink too. But I was doing exactly this, exactly kind of what you're going through. And it is a little bit frustrating if you don't know where to work or what to do or what to look at. I had a problem with traffic in Kubernetes. I run 4 versions, so I had 4 times the problems. Something wasn't getting applied right. I was getting logs from the customization controller, errors, throwing out, and they were coming out, you know, once an hour. The same files couldn't be processed. And I let that sit for 2 weeks because I'm like, I don't even have time to look at this. It's working, so I'm not going to touch it. I finally had some time to dig into it, and I had to do kind of what you're doing. So I guess my tips are, first one is if you set up Flux, make sure you're using like a notification controller. I think I kind of talk about that in my tutorial. Set up logging and notifications, just notifications to like Discord or Slack or whatever, you know, medium you want to use, but make sure that errors go somewhere so you don't have to look for them. That's super helpful. If you have Discord and you use it, you know, just create your own private Discord server that's just for your Homelab logs. I mean, don't put anything sensitive in there. None of the Helm controller or Flux stuff has anything sensitive. And then just log out to there. So that's the first thing, is observability, or I should say visibility, to figure out what's going on. So then once you find those errors, then it's still tough. It's still tough. What I do normally is I will get the logs of the customization controller and the Helm, is it the Helm? I don't know, Helm controller. And there's one notification controller. You don't need the logs from there. And then it's like, once you see that, like what the problem is, you can kind of address it. And sometimes you get in these weird scenarios where like, you know, source control is stuck. Like Flux is stuck trying to apply a commit from 3 commits ago. And that's kind of what it does. It's like, you know, it's trying to keep, if you don't know what Flux is, I should say this really quick. It's a GitOps tool that you write code and you commit code, and it's to help you GitOps, or infrastructure as code, your Kubernetes cluster, so that you can write YAML, push it up to a Git repo, and then it will apply. And then so you're not managing Kubernetes through a CLI, you're not managing it through Rancher or any UI, although you still can. You're saying, hey, my GitHub or GitLab or just my Git repo is the source of truth, and the cluster, and then Flux will apply those things as they come in. So it's really cool. I can write code, I can make changes to secrets, I can give things more CPU in YAML, commit it, push it up, Flux will apply it, and it works. Sometimes it has problems like you're having, and what I was saying, get notifications going, look at the logs from the controllers. You'll see in some of those error logs, like it might be stuck on a particular commit, like maybe in your Helm file, you're using, you know, a deprecated field, or you put the wrong value in for a field, or the field is required. And so from those errors, you'll be able to figure out, oh, okay, I need to change this field, or it's supposed to be a string. I put in a number, or that field was deprecated. Now I need to fix that. And once you work out kind of those kinks and push back up, you'll see that Flux says, oh, okay, great. This is fixed. Apply that commit, get the next commit, apply that commit. So it's serial. It's all sequential, and it'll never skip a commit. And so if you have an error on a commit and you keep pushing up more and more and more commits, I mean, unless it's the same file and it knows it can fix it, it'll get hung there until you fix that one, because it needs to apply them all sequentially in order. So anyways, that's I had to do that. I feel like I'm, I mean, I just did this like 2 days ago and fixed 4 instances of traffic because of CRDs and how they changed. And but now traffic has a CRD repo that I can no longer worry about them, hopefully. So anyways, I hope that's helpful. If you need more help, toss it in Discord, what I was just talking about earlier in our community. We have a Kubernetes channel, and there's lots of Flux people. I mean, there's tons of people in there. So, but definitely can give you some pointers too. Let's see. I'm glad I'm back. I am too. Bates boy. This week I've fallen deep down. The Pwnagotchi rabbit hole. I don't know what Pwnagotchi is. Rabbit hole. Been a lot of fun and actually learned a ton. I don't know anything about Pwnagotchi. I don't know how to, I don't know anything about this. I should know. It sounds cool. Like if it starts with Pwn or Pwnagotchi, and it has Gotchi in it, it's got to be good. It's got to be good. I need to look it up. Ski pays. Why not utilize a proven solution with streambot or something? Yeah, fair. So this is going back to, hey, I wrote my own bot. I want to do my own stuff. Like, why not use someone else's bot instead of your own? The biggest reason why is one. Well, there's a couple. One, I like writing code. It helps me keep my skills sharp. And it's fun, and I get to learn about how things work, and I love writing code. So that's one. 2, I like self-hosting stuff. So again, like this goes back to like, hey, I want to own this piece of code. I want to own this process. I want it to run in my own Homelab, So what lets me do that? And then I want to have CI and CD work, build these containers, deploy it, apply secrets, to help me keep sharp with Kubernetes and Docker. So there's all of that. But all of that aside, even if I was just like, I don't care about any of that, the biggest reason is, my bot in my channel interacts with Home Assistant, my instance of Home Assistant. That's how you guys are able to change the lights, is because I wrote my bot. It runs in my Homelab. It listens for events from Twitch. When it sees those events, like bits, like subs, it says, hey, Home Assistant, go flash the lights for 10 seconds or whatever, right? And so it's calling out to Home Assistant locally, like on my network, not publicly. And so, if I was using a public bot like Me6, I mean, I think with Me6, I could call a webhook, custom webhook, right? Where it can post some stuff and do some stuff. But then I'd have to open up Home Assistant to the public and allow that and secure it and put tokens. I mean, Home Assistant's figured out the token thing, so I wouldn't have to do that. But, it just gets odd. And so I personally enjoy doing everything that I just talked about. And so for me, it's not only a challenge, it really is fun until it goes wrong. But even when it goes wrong, it's fun. So I don't know. So I've done it for a long time, but that's totally fair. If I didn't like doing it, or if I wasn't a programmer, yeah, totally. What I would do is use Me6 or one of the other bots. Hopefully it has webhook support. I assume it does. I'm making assumptions, if you have the paid version, which I do. And from there, I would say, well, if I could, see, that's the catch, is I would have to say on a Twitch cheer or bits, they're called cheers in code. On a cheer, call into Home Assistant and flash the lights. So that assumes that, Me6 has access to Twitch events, which I don't think it does. So, I could probably stitch something together with a lot of third-party stuff, but that's where I'm like, okay, this is like why I write code, is I don't have to depend on other people's code anymore, and I can do it myself however I want, So I don't know, but that's totally a fair question. It's actually hard to get Twitch events. It might be a little bit easier now. But for a long time, it was hard to get Twitch events. But they actually have a Twitch PubSub API now, so pretty cool. Oh, let's see. But yeah, fair question. Fair questions for sure. Stream on 2 platforms, get double banned for fun. Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is going there. Triggering the bans. I did say, Budney, kind of, sort of. Cheesy breezy. I was scrolling through and stumbled along your page. I was looking into some stuff and saw Melon allows multi-streams and combines chat for you. Yeah, just a thought for you to look into. I don't know you. And you already talked about this. I thought I would share. Yeah, cheesy breezy. I did talk about it a little bit. You know, even I know how to combine chat. That's kind of easy. You know, Restream lets you do it. There's a couple of tools that let you do it. Even a tool that I use to show this, I could do it. You know, I could do it and see all of my chat here. And, you know, I could, you know, highlight a YouTube chat, highlight a Twitch chat, you know. But Twitch says I can't. Twitch says I can't show other streams chat or combine chat like on my screen. Maybe I need to read it again. What I'm probably going to do is feed that whole policy into ChatGPT and then ask it questions. That's what I do with a lot of legal stuff now. It's probably going to get me in trouble. But anytime I'm like, can I do this? I'm like, well, you know, this is all legal speak. Copy and paste in ChatGPT. Then ask it all kinds of questions. And that's my legal advice for right now until I can afford a lawyer one day. But yeah, totally. But ChatGPT said it could. But anyways, yeah, like the reasoning model we were just talking about a little bit earlier, that might be helpful too. So yeah, maybe I just need to feed it in ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, well, does this policy really say I can't show text, you know, highlight a message on the screen, or does it just mean combine chat? So, you know, but then I'm in like in this gray area, and like I'm not trying to do anything wrong on Twitch, and you know I like Twitch, and I get it. They're running a business, and YouTube is their competition. Like it's tough. So that's tough. Like I see it from both points of views. I do think that like you know other streaming platforms have a lot looser policies than Twitch, but they know what they're doing, and you know if it starts just. Like if they turn themselves into a commodity, like, you know, and then people have choice and they might just go away. So, you know, I don't know. IoT Temi Labs. I'm making custom ESPHome gamer subs drink dispenser with a cooling system, integrate stock into Home Assistant, and ordering with changeable drinks with displays. This sounds awesome. I need some of that in my life. So, gamer sup drink dispenser. So a drink dispenser, it has cooling, and you're building this on ESPHome, and it knows your stock in Home Assistant, so you can say, hey, I have 12 cans left, and then auto ordering. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. So auto ordering. Hopefully you get to approve that order. Hopefully you get to approve that order. But that is cool. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, this kind of goes back to like when I hear that, I think of like that Amazon button that they used to have that would do anything. You know, you could program it to rebuy stuff, and that was kind of like their way to say like, you know, if you needed laundry detergent, you just put one of those buttons over there, select your laundry detergent, and when you're getting low, you just hit the button and it's in the cart. But yeah, this is kind of sounds like that, but for whatever you want. So sounds pretty awesome. Sounds awesome. Sounds fun. It sounds fun to work on, except for like test orders. You're like, okay, the only way to really test this is to test in production. And here we go. We're making an order. So sounds awesome. Hopefully it's just add to cart, right? Hopefully it's add to cart and then you can check out on your own. But sounds fun. Kaiser Sose, okay, this was going back to, I think, the Houston comment. I'm originally from Wisconsin, so nothing new to me. All right, you know how it is up here. You know how it is. You're down in Houston now, I think. It snowed in Florida for the first time. Yeah, it is wild. It is wild, for sure. Hey, Tim, have you played with Home Assistant voice preview yet? No, honestly, have I? So I don't know if the voice preview is any different than what I've used before in the past. So when I did my AI video and I did my self-hosted AI stack, I did have Home Assistant running, and I was using one of their voice assistants, and I did tie that into, oh no, so I didn't. So what I did was I didn't use their voice assistant. No, I didn't. Nope, so I haven't. What I did was I was opening up chat with Home Assistant, which was backed by Olama, and then I could voice transcribe using Whisper to it. So I'd say like, hey, how many lights are running in the house, and that would get transcribed from Whisper. It would get sent to Home Assistant, and then because Home Assistant was smarter with Ollama, it would come back and it'd say you have 15 lights on, Whereas without that whole thing, it's like I don't know what room that is or something weird, It just wasn't intelligent enough to know. So no, I haven't yet. It sounds pretty awesome. I should at some point, but then I don't need a device to test it. I could do it right in my browser from the app. So yeah, maybe I should for sure. Like, I think soon I'm going to do a walkthrough of my whole Home Assistant because I've learned a ton and I have some really weird integrations and I kind of want to share them to let people know like how I solve particular problems. Cause I have a lot of integrations in here. If you can't tell, like everything is now hooked up to Home Assistant where, last year, I was only using Home Assistant as an interface to get things into HomeKit. So my wife could use, Apple Home, whereas, and I could too. Whereas now it's like, okay, it is an interface for her to easy mode Home Assistant, Apple Home, but then I get the advanced mode piece of Home Assistant. And, they're both controlling the same devices, two totally different ecosystems and two totally different interfaces, and it all works. So I don't know. I definitely want to talk through that at some point. But no, I should check out the voice preview. We're a Siri family here, for now. But Siri's actually getting smarter now because they're backing that with GPT. So it's kind of wild. I'm like, oh Siri, when did you learn all this stuff? It's not great still, and it's super annoying because she's like, that source came from yada yada yada.com. It's like, you don't need to tell me your source every time. I'm sure it's early, but anyway, Siri got a lot smarter because Apple's using GPT now too. So pretty wild. But yeah, voice assistant, I totally should. Voice assistant, Home Assistant with voice. I should for sure. Tony loves tech. I love tech too. I'm from Louisiana and the snow was insane. There's still a bit of snow around me that hasn't melted yet. Yeah. You guys are getting a taste of what it's like way up north here. Yeah, for sure. And what you guys got, we call that Tuesday, and it's just like, we don't even think about it, but I totally get it. And I bet it was super fun, having that kind of weather down there. And just having everyone, the buzz about it and the news and, it just being different. I bet it was fun. I bet it was, down there. I bet it was a lot of people talking about it, So hope everyone's safe because driving on ice is not fun. Even if you have, a truck with 4-wheel drive, you don't have 4-wheel stop. That's what a guy used to always tell me. And I'm like, you kind of do. I don't know. But anyways, he would joke around. But, even if you have a, big truck, whatever, still be safe because man, it's dangerous once you start sliding, and it's a scary feeling. If you guys have ever slid on the ice, it is kind of scary when you start feeling that, oh, I'm floating. You're like, oh no, here we go. Oh, is dark mode darker or is it just me? This dark mode is now darker because I think those blue lights turned off. This is as dark as it gets, unfortunately. But it's maybe I'll go darker soon. I could turn off those lights too, but that'd be super weird. I mean, be me like in witness protection program or something like that. So. Oh, let's see. Durentu. I have a bunch of Proxmox nodes now. Does it make sense to cluster them? Yes, Durentu. Great question. So you're saying, hey, I have a bunch of Proxmox nodes. I have one over here. It's a mini PC. I have one over here. It's a gigantic server. One over here. That's an old PC. Like, does it make sense to cluster them? Yes. It might not make sense to make them HA, but it absolutely makes sense to cluster them, and I'll tell you why. One single pane of glass, right? So it means you can go to any one of those web, hosts for Proxmox and see all of your nodes. Pretty cool, right? So you can see your data center view. You get to see all of your nodes all in one spot. That's awesome. Two, you get to configure and share storage across them too, right? So in the data center view, or in each, if you configure storage, you will have storage will be configured on all of those nodes easily, automatically, I think it's automatically. I got to look again. But yeah, so for instance, if you have an NFS share, you add it I think you add it in the data center view. Now I'm like second guessing myself. Anyways, you get shares easily, automatically configured. You configure it on 1, they all have access to it. 2, then that makes backup super easy, right? So if you have an AS and you add an NFS share and every machine has access to that NFS share, then you can schedule your backups easily and have them all back up to your NAS or to somewhere else, right? You get backups at the data center level, not at the individual node level, so you don't have to configure them that way. Third reason or fourth reason, I don't know where we're at now, is something that I've noticed. I don't know if this is new or that I never noticed it. I know it used to not be this way. But you can't do live migrations, right? That takes Ceph basically, an HA cluster. But you can do offline migrations. What I used to do was back up my node, shut down, the virtual machine, back it up to NFS, go on the new machine, do a restore it there, and start it back up. But now they do this migration for you. I think they've just automated that piece. We basically say, yeah, I want to move this virtual machine to that node, and be like, okay, it'll do the shutdown, it'll do the backup, it'll move, restore, and it'll start back up. So, I did a live migration from NFS. Maybe I thought you had to do. Maybe, I don't know. I've never tried it with NFS. I thought you had to have ZFS because it would snapshot it. I don't know, or Ceph. I don't know. So I've never done a live migration because I've never had like an HA cluster. So you can do it on NFS. Cool. That is cool for sure. So hey, that is awesome. A live migration. That is awesome. I guess it depends on the container type that you use, the file container. I don't know, but that is awesome. Good to know. But yeah, so for all those reasons, I would say yes. Like if you have more than one Proxmox node, unless there's some reason, like you don't want them to communicate with each other, you want to manage UI separately, you want to configure backup separately, and you want to do all that separately, you should absolutely, create a cluster from them. And with Proxmox, they've changed it. You used to have to run CoroSync for votes. Anyways, it's not that way anymore. You can cluster with 2 because they've kind of cheated a little bit, not cheated, but made it easier to say that, hey, if you only have 2 nodes, one node has 2 votes, so it becomes the leader. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, good call on not matching CPUs, AMD and Intel. But now Proxmox has that generic CPU, right? The better generic CPU that actually includes the AES instruction set. So you can do that too. So if you don't choose host for your virtual machines and you choose that new one, I forget what it's called, it's like 64 something, yada, 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 yada. You can migrate them, no problem, because that's a generic CPU like architecture that also supports AES now. A lot of people didn't use the generic CPU architecture thing that they have, the CPU type, because it didn't have AES instruction set. And so everyone would use host. Well, they addressed that by creating a CPU type that has the AES instruction set. And so now there's almost no reason to use host unless really super edge cases and like hiding your CPU to know it's not being virtualized, yada, 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 like some obscure stuff, I think, for either, I don't know, gaming or for video card pass-through. Anyways, that generic one is definitely just the way to go, because if you do that, then you can migrate them fine. So anyways, yeah. Should I change my VMs from host to the new AES? It doesn't matter. I'll be honest. I still do host. It's mostly out of habit because I know it'll work. And all of my CPUs are the same. They're all Intel for my entire Proxmox cluster. So, and they're all 64-bit. Like, for me, it's a bad habit. I think best practice is to do that, right? It is to do that so you can migrate them without worrying about the CPU anymore. So I still do host though, but I'm saying, like, if you have different CPU types across, your nodes, that's one way to solve it, so it doesn't like scream at you and say like, oh, I can't, whatever, I can't start. I don't remember if they'll block the migration or they just won't let it start, but one of those. And so that's how you get around it. I mean, they tell you to too. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. Mdang, watch your vid on Nut server and now setting up my Raspberry Pi Zero 2Ws wherever I have UPSs around the house. 6, awesome, that is awesome. Bringing the info into Home Assistant and looking to set up a main master server with all the others reporting to the backup dummy UPS driver for forwarding and relaying. Yeah, that is awesome. Oops, sorry. Wait, here. Yeah, that is awesome. So cool. So you're putting Raspberry Pi Zeros on all of your UPSs. That's cool because I think they're like $10. I can't remember how much they are. But that's pretty powerful to say, hey, I just made my UPS super smart with $10, on this, this open platform, this computer, basically, I'm going to use for my UPS to make it smart. And if that ever changes, I still have a computer out of it. That is awesome. That's way better than like embedded and, you buy an Eaton or a Trip Light right now. You got to buy this card. That's like insane amount of money. It's like $120. And then all that does is give you like a web server to look at your, to look at the usage and to schedule stuff. Like I get it. There's a cost to it and all that, but it's pretty incredible that you can take tiny Raspberry Pi Zero, $5-10, and boom, you just made your UPS smart. And that is awesome, tying it into Home Assistant. I need to do that too. I've been going all in with Home Assistant, and you're going to see some of that in my video coming up. Mostly around, some dashboarding, which I have a video on, and also not automation yet, but a lot of visibility and dashboards and, just things like that. So not logging there. I'm not going to do logging there, but visualizing data. Yeah, for sure. I've been doing that. I use Grafana. I've used Grafana so many times over so many years. I'm kind of like, do I want to keep doing Grafana at home? It's fun, but So anyways, you'll see that in my video, but that is awesome. That's cool that you're able to just duct tape this little computer on, program it, and boom, you got, Nut server running. So pretty cool and awesome. Then you're going to bring it into Home System. So you're going to have a main, and then a master or clients that are forwarding and relaying. Pretty awesome. That is awesome stuff. For sure. That sounds fun. Clustering rocks, migrate VMs quickly and backups closer to a single pane of glass. All right. For sure. That is like the most perfect way to say it. And should I cluster Proxmox? That is the answer. It's been clear and above normal temps here in South Willamette Valley, Oregon. Not great for us. Not great for us this coming summer. Sorry. Oh man, so clear and normal temps. Yeah, so you're saying it's too warm. It's too warm there now, too soon. Yeah, it's weather's been wild. Weather's been wild here for us too. It's just kind of all over the place. It's all over the place. And while I enjoy, 30-degree days, in January, it shouldn't be 30 degrees here. I think the average is probably like, I don't know, 10 or 15 or something like that. A lot lower.